Well, I certainly do, and we must never forget the horror of Dunblane, and never forget the young children and their teacher who did not come home from school. The campaign that families fought to make this country a safer place is a lasting legacy, and we should be enormously grateful for their courage.
Yeah. Sir Ed Davey.
The Prime Minister for his reply, and I hope the Government will close any loopholes. Mr. Speaker, this week families across the country have seen petrol prices rise at the pump, mortgage rates go up, and fixed energy deals get more expensive, all because of a war they did not start and do not support. The leader of the Conservatives has been competing with the honourable member for Clacton to be Donald Trump's biggest cheerleader. And the Prime Minister was right to reject their costly warmongering. But last week, I asked him to guarantee that energy bills won't rise by hundreds of pounds in July. He didn't answer. So let me try again. Will he give people that energy bill guarantee now?
Prime Minister.
Can I thank him for raising this, because people will be really worried about the impact on them, and just to reassure households that the cap is in place until the end of June, until July, and therefore that deals with the situation for households there. We are working with the sector and with others and with allies to do everything we can to make sure those energy bills don't rise, so we're working round the clock on that. The most important thing, the most effective thing we can do is to work with our allies to find a way to de-escalate the situation. He's right about the Leader of the Opposition, the Leader of Reform. Last week they were urging us to join, this is serious, to join. If they had been leading the country, we'd be in a war, and they've now come to Parliament to say, oop.
Order. Prime Minister. Who said lying again? I want that withdrawn. Is that withdrawn? And I'll deal with it, thank you. I don't want any more off the front bench. We take it very seriously, and calling another member a liar is not acceptable. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and so that's our position.
Josh Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Too often I hear from SEND families in Hertford and Stortford whose children have been left out of education for months or even years because they can't get a school place that meets their needs within a reasonable distance. I'm campaigning for more investment in the bricks and mortar SEND provision that semi-rural communities like ours need, so families can access support early and easily and their children can thrive in education. So will the Prime Minister back my campaign to expand SEND provision in Hertford and Stortford, and will he arrange a meeting with the relevant minister so we can discuss it in more detail?
Yeah. Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, he's right. Families are crying out for change, and that's why it's really critical we get this right. Our reforms will fix the broken SEND system, where parents have to fight for support, replacing it with tailored support personal to a child's need. A Best Start family hub in every local authority with a dedicated SEND practitioner will help families with face-to-face support they need. My honourable friend's a great advocate on this issue, and I'm happy to make sure he gets the meeting that he's asking for.
Stephen Flynn.
Mr. Speaker, let's be clear. Donald Trump's war in Iran is illegal, and the situation that has unfolded since is verging on insane. Oil is falling from the skies, sewers are exploding, the IRGC is indiscriminately attacking civilians across the region, cargo ships and potentially even mining the Strait of Hormuz, the economic consequences of which will be stark for the global economy but for every single person living on these isles too. And whether the Prime Minister accepts it or not, he did indeed take us into that war when he allowed the Americans to use UK bases just last week. But I have a specific question. He'll have seen the same footage I have of an American Tomahawk missile landing on a primary school, killing 110 children. Does he believe that to be a war crime?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we're all concerned by that footage, but let me be absolutely clear with him. We have 300,000 UK nationals, including Scottish citizens, in the region. Strikes, missiles and drones are being fired into the region, putting them at great danger. We are taking action to protect them. I'm astonished that the SNP says don't take action to support Scottish citizens in the region. It's outrageous.
Peter Dowd.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. National Highways, the government-owned company, has reneged on a promise to replace a demolished footbridge at Park Lane West in Netherton. It crossed one of the busiest roads and junctions in Merseyside, used by countless residents, particularly children and parents going to and from infant and primary school. My constituents have requested that that bridge be replaced with no ifs or buts. Will the Prime Minister support my constituents' very reasonable request to honour that promise made by National Highways?
Can I thank him for campaigning for his constituents, his residents, who are obviously concerned about this. As I understand it, National Highways has concluded the best option for all users, pedestrians and cyclists, is a new crossing. But I thank him for raising the points, and I'll be happy for ministers to continue discussing with him the options.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This afternoon, the Mandelson papers, or the first tranche, will be released, bringing into the light for the first time UK institutional knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein and those associated with him. But here in the UK, we have our own Epstein, Mohammed Fayed, and the institutions that supported his crimes. As a co-chair of the APPG for the survivors of Al Fayed and Harrods, along with the Honourable Member for Lichfield, we welcome the actions of the Metropolitan Police in recent days, but we continue to call on them to describe those crimes as what they were: trafficking. Does the Prime Minister recognise that characterisation, and will he meet with the APPG and survivors to hear their asks?
Prime Minister.
Can I thank you for raising this really important issue? And I discussed it with the Honourable Member for Lichfield last night, particularly the approach of the APPG, and thank her for her important work on this issue. I'm very happy to meet the APPG and the victims. I think it's very important to do so. She'll know there's an ongoing police investigation, but that doesn't mean that we can't have the meeting and listen to those that need to be listened to.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Team Derby is our partnership making sure that the billions of pounds in investment that this Labour government is bringing into Derby benefits the people of Derby in regeneration, skills and good jobs. The government's record investment in Rolls-Royce submarines means hundreds of new jobs and apprenticeships in Derby. So will the Prime Minister firmly reject the Green Party's defence policies, which would decimate jobs in Derby and leave the United Kingdom unprotected?
Can I thank her? Derby is part of our industrial heritage and has a bright future. Initiatives, as she says, like Team Derby are so important to strengthen key sectors like defence, creating jobs and growth. Our £9 billion deal with Rolls-Royce to boost our fleet of nuclear submarines is testament to that, creating more than 1,000 jobs and safeguarding 4,000 more. Those that oppose all that must answer to the working people that they claim to represent.